This week in U.S. immigration news, we are going to cover bipartisan immigration reform would ease inflation, migrant apprehensions at the border reached record levels in May, Supreme Court decision regarding excessive force by border agents, Biden and Latin American leaders announce migration deal, exemptions for eligible Afghans, federal judge blocks Biden's immigration enforcement priorities, Supreme Court rejects bail hearings for jailed immigrants, the Supreme Court dismissed appeal on the public charge policy. On the 10th anniversary of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, a group of GOP business leaders are urging Republican congressional leaders to grant Dreamers legal status to help ease inflation and the U.S. labor shortage. On Wednesday, a letter was sent to Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, requesting that they reach a deal on immigration to provide permanent legal status to the immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. The letter was sent by 14 donors who call themselves lifelong Republicans. The donors wrote, "Improving border security and providing a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers is not only morally right, it is also absolutely crucial to addressing labor shortages, reducing food prices and creating jobs for all American families." Border Patrol agents along the U.S.-Mexico border recorded a record high of migrant apprehensions throughout May, totaling 222,000 times, according to Department of Homeland Security statistics. U.S. authorities reported processing an additional 17,000 unauthorized migrants at official border ports of entry, where the Biden administration has been admitting some vulnerable asylum seekers so that they can continue their immigration proceedings inside the country. The administration stated the unprecedented levels of migrant arrivals as part of a broader displacement crisis fueled by the pandemic-related economic issues, natural disasters, violence and political repression in parts of Latin America. Last Wednesday, the Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, made it harder to sue federal officials for money in cases accusing them of violating the Constitution. The case was brought by Robert Boole, the owner of an inn on the Canadian border, and said he served as a confidential informant for the federal government, helping agents apprehend people illegally crossing the border. In March 2014, Boole told Eric Egbert, a Border Patrol agent, that a Turkish citizen was to arrive at the inn with a plan to illegally cross the border. Egbert entered Boole property without a warrant. When Boole told him to leave, Egbert threw him against a car and then to the ground. Boole sued the agent, claiming he had violated the Fourth Amendment right by using excessive force and the First Amendment by contracting the IRS and prompting an audit on Boole tax returns. At the Summit of the Americas on Friday, President Joe Biden and leaders of Latin American countries signed an agreement to address the consequences of mass migration, making pledges to allow more people fleeing political and economic distress to cross their borders. The agreement is called the Los Angeles Declaration on Migration and Protection. It will commit the U.S. to take 20,000 refugees from Latin America during the next 2 years. Biden further agreed to increase the number of seasonal worker visas from Central America and Haiti by 11,500. The number of refugees and workers the U.S. agreed to accept represents a small fraction of migrants who attempt to cross the southwestern border per day. Other countries agreed to step up their effort to allow the entry of migrants before they reach the United States.
If you are new to our channel, welcome and please subscribe to stay in the loop. We offer free 15-minute consultations if your case is qualified, so we can point you in the right direction. Stay tuned for the secret code later in the show.
The Department of Homeland Security and Department of State took steps to ensure that vulnerable Afghans who have supported and worked with the U.S. in Afghanistan, and who have undergone screening and vetting, can qualify for protection and other immigration benefits. 3 new exemptions have been created, which can be applied on a case-by-case basis, to ensure individuals who would otherwise be eligible for the benefit or protection they are seeking are not automatically denied. Individuals would only be if they have undergone rigorous screening and vetting, and are individually determined to not pose a risk to national security or public safety. Federal Judge Drew Tipton blocked a Department of Homeland Security policy that limits who immigration authorities can arrest and deport. Judge Tipton sided with the states of Texas and Louisiana, which argued that the DHS guidance is preventing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement from enforcing the law. The policy was announced last year by Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, by instructing immigration authorities to prioritize serious threats to public safety and national security, as well as migrants who recently crossed the border. Lawyers for the Biden administration argued the policy is a reasonable exercise of prosecutorial discretion and the best way to use DHS limited resources. The Supreme Court on Monday ruled that a federal law does not require immigrants detained for long periods while they are fighting deportation to be granted hearings to decide whether they may be released on bond as their case moves forward. 7 justices joined Justice Sotomayor's majority opinion while Justice Breyer issued a partial dissent. The justices did not consider what the Constitution has to say about extended detentions of immigrants, rather they tightly focused on the words of the relevant statute in dispute. Justice Sotomayor wrote that the federal government is free to provide bond hearings, but is not required to do so by the statute in question. The Supreme Court on Wednesday dismissed an appeal brought by a group of Republican-led states seeking to intervene in a case challenging the Trump-era public charge immigration policy. The case centered on whether the Biden administration followed proper procedures when it revoked the rule and dismissed pending legal challenges. The public charge rule, a Trump administration policy, made it more difficult for immigrants to obtain legal status if they used certain public benefits, such as Medicaid, food stamps, and housing vouchers.
Friends, show us some love and smash the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have an immigration problem or need a second opinion because you cannot get a hold of your own lawyer, schedule a meeting with our team. Share information with our CARES team and they will help you get scheduled with our legal team. Now here's a secret code to unlock the free 15 minutes.